This is her second sport. Tennis is really her first sport. So maybe one day she'll be the next Venus or Serena. We're hoping.
You do it all the way around.
Parents are hoping and paying more than ever before.
What?
These kids are paying anywhere from $500 to $1,500 just to join the team, and then they have to buy all the accessories. By the time you're done with the hotel fees and everything, you might have spent $5,000 on your kid by the end of the year.
Joe Cipollone is a softball dad.
It's very competitive today. If you're sitting on the sidelines and you're watching your kids not play, it really gets tough.
How tough?
42-year-old Thomas Junta, a father of two, turned himself into police in the Boston suburb of Reading.
The doctor told me and my family that my dad was dead.
What made this case resonate with so many? What started it all? Passions out of control over a game children played.
The biggest problem in organized youth sports is very simple to explain. Too many adults who want to compete through children.
What's the impact on kids when adults take their games too seriously? Child psychiatrist Alvin Rosenfeld.
I think kids feel that they're going to be winners or they're going to be nothing. I think there's every reason to believe that this overscheduled lifestyle is directly connected to the amount of ADD, depression, eating disorders, etc. that we're seeing.
You're going to start on dismounts?
Brenda Uzelak is the mother of an elite gymnast, and she's a coach.
You do have a lot that the parents, I think, want to live the gymnastic world through their kids, and some of them just really are miserable, but they keep doing it because they want to keep their parents happy. That's usually the type of kid that will be a very talented gymnast, but in the end will burn out.
In fact, 75% of all children drop out of organized sports by age 12. Why? They say it's not fun anymore.
Slow, slow.
Our biggest fear for Kayla is to get in that rut, quit, and then regret.
Good girl.
If she begins to have doubts, should we encourage her to quit because it's taking away her childhood or other aspects of her life that maybe she wants back? And some days, as parents, we're like, you know what? Quit. Pull the plug. Please, let us off this train.
What we are in youth sports to do is to develop better children.
Bob Bigelow's message to parents: stop trying to manage their careers and just let the kids play.
You're on my team, Nick.
The honest answer is they don't need us. I'm trying to bring the competitive nature of youth sports back to the children, where it belongs.
At the Parkettes Gym in Allentown, Pennsylvania, the elite gymnasts are the jewels in the crown.
You get the blue right over there. Where's this go?
To stay on top, they work 6 days a week, year-round, with fewer than 2 weeks of vacation a year.
Make it look good.
All of them are homeschooled. 7-year-old Ashley Berry's mom studies the elites for signs of things to come.
I look at the older girls.
All the way through your toes, guys.
And I just can't imagine.
Come on.
In a way, I hope that she decides she doesn't like it, because it's hard. I mean, it's a lot of sacrifices for the family when it gets up to the higher levels.
Who's Nicole Harris?
Nicole Harris, she's like the troublemaker right there.
Nicole Harris is an elite.
Does an excellent job.
She left her family in New York when she was 13 to train at this gym, which meant living with her teammates' families in Allentown. Her coaches say she's a relentless competitor, but her emotions get in the way.
I get very frustrated. Like, I want to do something perfect, and I can't, and I try over and over, and then I get so mad.
Wait a second. Where are you going?
Nicole. Now, Miss Flexibility. Oh, my utmost challenge. Loves to be on stage. Loves to be number one. Gets very, very upset when she isn't.
You see this? I lost half of that because of Nicole. 5 different moves of Nicole Harris.
2.
At the elite level, the drive for perfection has to come from the girls themselves. And parents are often pulled along for the ride.
Boxes?
Today, Nicole's parents and younger sisters are moving from Long Island, New York to Allentown, saying goodbye to their old life as they follow her Olympic dream.
How old were you when you wrote about 8?
I thought, yeah.
She wrote that as would be her signature. When she wins gold in 2004.
Yeah.
Nice.
My last day in the OR.
Nicole's mom is leaving a job she's had for 16 years.
I wish you and your family, and especially your daughter, who is the reason for all of this, nothing but the best.
Here.
Her younger sister Kim has mixed feelings.
I don't want to leave my friends, and next year's 5th grade, and I want to graduate with all my friends.
Taking care of business.
Nicole gets whatever she wants. Yesterday, I asked for something, and my parents said no. And then my sister asked for 2 things, and I said yes, and my dad took her to get it.
Hi, Dad.
Nicole's dad will keep his job as a New York City firefighter, which means commuting 2.5 hours each way.
Remember this, Chloe?
Yeah.
Look how small you are.
Her parents say Nicole's belief in herself keeps them going.
I say to myself, maybe we should just stop all this. But that's not Nicole. She wants to go, and she wants to do this, so we're going. You know, I can't imagine Nicole without it in her life.
Pull up and square out.
Her family may have faith in Nicole, but she doesn't always have faith in herself.
Nice and straight. Oh. Unbelievable. You gotta believe in yourself. Remember, you don't have to hammer and work so hard. Come on now, nice and straight. Straight legs.
Sometimes it gets very hard and you're like, I can't do this anymore. I like this pass. You just you don't have enough rest before. I want to do it. I really do.
You know my answer to that. Talk's cheap, baby.
Nicole, where's your pride? You gotta fight through you. You gotta fight through this emotional baloney. You know what your problem is? You care too much. Just relax. You're too intense, you're trying too hard, you're working too hard. Just relax, okay? Just chill out. Just chill out. Okay.
As Nicole's family says goodbye to their old life, Nicole wonders too what she's given up.
I mean, I'd like to see what it'd be like if I didn't do gymnastics. We all do. We all say, what would it be like? We all do. We always talk about that. Come on. I don't think I'd be able to go back to school and feel normal ever again. I don't think I could.
Up and down both feet. Punch front at the end, 5 times.
Nicole Harris is one of 9 elite gymnasts at Parkettes, any of whom could become the next Olympic star.
Come on, Annie, over the top.
I'm 12.
Sharp, sharper. Open and open again.
And I've been in the elite. This is going to be my 2nd year.
Annie Fogarty is one of the youngest elites.
Just because you're only 12 years old doesn't mean you have to look like a 12-year-old.
Sometimes if like something's aching, your mind's saying, okay, stop. You can't do it anymore. But then your heart's like, you have to do it.
Christina Kosha, known at the gym as Sharky, has had a rocky climb to elite status.
I told her a couple times, I said, look, it's just chewing everybody up. I mean, if you're not going to take that next step, then let's just get out. And she would just look at me and say, no. Okay, Shark, whatever you want.
Krista Jasper's coaches say she's a natural.
She's a performer. She loves to perform. She's an American Idol. She should see an Olympic team eventually. You can't do any less than what I'm asking, or you might as well not do it.
Pressure for these girls is a constant.
Come on, Sharky.
Pressure not only from themselves, but from coaches who point out every bobble, every imperfection.
Do you see this? These are all deductions, okay? Just stay with it.
Coach Donna Strauss says the sport is good for the girls, maturing them beyond their years.
You're in this position, Crystal. I don't care that you don't feel like doing this. I find that teenagers today don't have a work ethic. I said I want it too. Gymnasts have a very good work ethic.
Feet, stand, shoulders back.
And they know how to budget their time, and they know how to strive.
We're going to keep going till we do them.
Donna and her husband Bill Strauss have run the Parkettes gym for over 30 years, using different coaching strategies to turn the hormonal teenage mind into a finely tuned machine.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know about your event, but they're doing great on board.
If you're having a bad day, he'll give you a hug. He'll sit down and talk to you. The big bear hug.
But they played a good cop, bad cop pretty good.
Yeah.
Come on, Donna. They know what they're doing. They got their act together.
I won't comment, but just take that out. I don't want to even see it.
Donna's always more strict and stern with them.
Listen to me, demand.
She'll push them just as hard as she thinks she can push them. And that's what makes champions. That's why Parkettes has the legacy that they have, and that's why they have the elite team that they have.
Where's the dismount? Did you not listen to the following directions?
When Donna wants her way, she gets her way.
It has that feeling.
What Donna wants from Annie is more star power.
Come on, arms, arms, arms. Sail, Annie, sail. Perform.
My coaches always remind me, you have to have personality, and sometimes I don't.
And back.
Like, smile and be like, showy, and sometimes I don't like to do that in front of people.
Annie, if you're not going to work to the level of this script, you're moving back, and that's not a threat, it's a fact. We coach Annie hard. The job that we have to do with Annie is daily.
Don't just jump off.
It's daily reminding her for her work ethic, for her belief in herself, for the constant output.
But if you ask Annie, she wouldn't mind more hugs.
I would like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's something you're ever going to have to worry about. Over-hugging is not likely.
Yeah. Do it tight.
It's the night before the Elite Zone meet. Annie's parents try to keep things low-key. But her coach's expectations are clear. Big smiles and no mistakes. Sharky is exceeding her own expectations.
Come on, Omi.
Pretty good job.
But Nicole knows she could have done better.
I keep telling you and telling you and telling you, stop second-guessing yourself. Let's show a little bit of maturity here, please.
Annie's coaches are watching her to see how she handles the pressure of competition.
Oh, man, gosh, what the heck was that? Come on, Annie. Come on, Annie.
Well, I try to picture just like me and the beam and nobody else. But sometimes I get nervous. I'm like shaking. I don't like that. I just tell myself to have fun and try my best because that's what really counts.
Her coaches are not pleased with her performance.
Annie, why are you competing? What is the purpose of competition? To try to win? Do your very best? I mean, do you have any goals, or do you just think it's more important to have bobbles so people give you attentions? I mean, what is the purpose of that performance level?
I think she was mad.
We have other stuff that could go in, but we can't put it in because you just aren't ready for it. And I'm not done, because I'm tired. I'm very angry right now at you. I
think she just was talking about you need to focus more in practice.
Oh yeah, I didn't really get why she said that, but I don't know.
If some kids walk in here thinking that they're great, even when they're not, she does the opposite. Like, she could be really great right now.
I hear where you're coming from.
And I think that's the point she was trying to say, you know, treating every day like an important day.
Annie, come here, please.
But it's not an easy thing to do.
Think what you're doing now, though. Stop with the faces.
Are adults asking too much of these girls?
Solomon, could you, help with her?
Child psychiatrist Alvin Rosenfeld says yes.
Just settle yourself down.
Kids are not being permitted to be kids. They're being forced to be professionals. And I think we're robbing their childhood.
They're kids.
Annie, that was a great ball. Stick it.
And if there's not someone there motivating and demanding the finished product, they're not going to put in 100% effort.
I couldn't what? Control it.
Why? So it's all what the coaches demand.
Why? Use your arms instead of your head, and that won't happen.
At the Elite Zone meet in Allentown, Christina Kosha, the one they call Sharky, is feeling confident.
I connected all of my skills and got a really good score. And that got me even more pumped up for floor.
Over. Come on, push it, push. Come on, come on. Thank. All right. Keep coming, keep coming. Sit down, sit down. Whap your head.
On my last pass, I think I got a little bit over anxious and I missed my legs on my double pike and landed on my head and had a little bit of a concussion.
She was having an excellent meet, and when she did that, it's like everything just drains out of you. You know, it's like, oh, you know, now what? You know, it's hard to see him fall like that.
Work your arms on the double A. Okay. Work straight. Right up, right up. Don't let him know it hurt.
Sharky heads back to the gym to prepare for the next big meet, working through tendinitis and Seaver's disease, an inflammation of the growth plate in her heel.
So what did I tell you when your heels were hurting you?
Suck it up.
Suck it up.
Because there's nothing you can do. There's nothing for the heels you can do. So it's like, suck it up. You'll be okay.
That's what I just told her.
Almost all gymnasts go through it.
Stick with it.
Olympian Kristen Maloney trained at Parkettes, where her determination to suck it up is legendary.
Did she say when I was done icing?
Now she's on the disabled list of UCLA's gymnastics team.
I've had 4 surgeries on it, had a couple rods put in, had some dead bones scraped out and stuff like that, but it just didn't want to heal.
Elites like Kristen are a challenge for doctors, says UCLA team physician Aurelia Nativ.
Coaches, they've learned to ignore signs of pain, which obviously that's not a good thing.
But Coach Donna Strauss says the ability to deal with pain separates the champions from the rest.
You know, we've had gymnasts that have injuries, and if the doctor tells them it's not going to get worse, and if you can work with pain, you can do it. And we've had kids able to do that, and some can't, and that has to come from them.
As youth sports become more competitive, with longer seasons and extra practices, doctors say they're seeing more overuse injuries, as many as 8 million every year. Little League elbow, runner's knee, swimmer's shoulder, gymnast's back. All of these were almost unheard of in children 20 years ago, says Dr. Nativ.
Instead of free play that we used to see when we were younger, we're seeing young kids that are exercising from 4 to 6 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. So we're seeing a lot more problems with burnout, with overuse injuries.
Thank goodness it's Friday.
And back doing your usual training? Haven't stopped at all?
The gym refers injured girls to Dr. Gregor Hawk.
Okay.
Paige Cipollone missed the last meet due to back pain.
So now if I bring you up and over this way, any pain?
Yeah.
Dr. Hawk looked for cracks in her spine, but didn't find any.
How's your back today?
Despite the pain from overuse, she's cleared for the next competition.
Gymnasts are so very active, we can't do what we do to an average athlete or a high school athlete and put them at rest and let them heal. If we do that, she'll lose her season.
Tall, nice.
Nicole Harris is also working through her back pain.
I think that no matter how much it hurts, you just have to deal with it. And the coaches try to tell me that.
There's a very fine line when you are allowed to step in as the parent. You're like, wait a minute, this is my kid. This will always be my kid. But you have to kind of walk on eggshells with it.
The girls not only learn to work through their pain, but to worry about their weight.
If you don't teach them at a young age how to control their bodies, when they hit 14, 15, you have a big problem.
Nicole, at 14, knows what she eats is of great interest to her coaches.
I just want regular pizza. I want to stop talking about food. They're going to get it on camera, and then Mrs. Stress is going to say, I don't get that.
Stand up tall.
But just one comment from a coach could send a perfectionist teenage girl down the road to an eating disorder, according to Dr. Nativ.
They're like God sometimes to the gymnasts, and what they say is like gospel to the gymnasts. They need to be very careful.
Okay. If there's meat coming up, you get weighed. I mean, it's the difference between a quarter pound.
All the way tight.
I didn't have a scale until, I don't know, 6 months ago, because I knew she would be obsessive about it, and she is.
The parquet coaches say that they show the door to any gymnast with an eating disorder.
But like other elite athletes, gymnasts are always at risk of falling into the female athlete triad, a chain reaction that starts with exercising too much and eating too little. That can stop the menstrual cycle, which can lead to brittle bones and premature osteoporosis.
Unfortunately, we have seen athletes in their 20s that have had all of those problems, and they unfortunately some of them have had bones of a 70-year-old.
Overexercising can also delay growth and puberty for a while, which isn't necessarily considered a bad thing in gymnastics.
If you grow 4 inches, it just changes everything. The mass, the body, the frame. If you grow that much, it's just going to make it that much worse.
Short, thin, and prepubescent has been the image of perfection since Olympian Nadia Comaneci first achieved a perfect 10 at 14 years old, 5 feet, and 85 pounds. But perfection has a price, says child psychiatrist Alvin Rosenfeld.
If your goal is to be perfect, you always will be inadequate, and you always will have a problem with your self-esteem. If your goal is to be the best you can be and to really try hard, you'll do fine.
Let's go, bar people! Come on! Come on, let it swing, let it swing!
Here at this classics meet in Virginia Beach, gymnasts from around the country will try to break out as up-and-coming stars.
No matter what happens, okay? I want to see you up your performance level.
Come on, Annie!
Annie's coaches hope she'll impress the judges.
It's okay, Annie, keep on going.
You gotta make this, kiddo. You gotta make this. Way to give up, Annie. Way to give up.
When I finish it, I just say, thank God I'm done.
Was that a try, what you just did? What kind of a try? Is there such a thing as a quitter's try, like lackadaisical?
Come on, Nicole!
We'll see what Nicole does on floor.
Coach Bill Strauss is worried about Nicole, whether she'll be able to do the double-piked backflip in competition that she couldn't do in practice.
Yep. Every 10 counts, all right? Come on, buddy. You can do it.
One, two, up! Come on! Right!
She's doing very well this week. I can see a smile on her face every so often.
A floor routine.
Nicole faced down her fears.
Okay, very good. Don't you think you should do a double layout without a spot?
Now, Sharkey must confront hers.
Then you're going to be choked by me if you miss it, so.
She wouldn't be here if she wasn't good. You just got to believe that.
and she'll be fine. Legs tight, 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 tight. Up.
You want to go get her?
Yeah, just relax, honey.
Sharky's coaches are afraid she's torn her Achilles tendon.
Relax, relax, relax. Can you get her? Because I gotta get Tia. Tia's next.
She'll be okay. She's tough.
Well, she's semi-walking. That's always your goal, to walk out of here. Hello. We'll see what happens. Back to the mill on Monday.
Sharky's season is over. Now the other girls find out if they've qualified for the national championships. Nicole places 5th. The rest of her teammates, Tia in 6th, Krista in 8th, and Annie in 10th, also qualified. And in 19th place, so does Lou. They've all made the first cut on the long road to the Olympics.
Okay, what are we doing with you? Can you come with us?
Probably not.
Can we take you home for a little while?
From here, lots of tests and no guarantees. Tonight, Nicole's hard work paid off. But Sharky learned a hard lesson.
Big smile.
These kids are out there on the spotlight, just by themselves, and they have one shot. And if they're doing a floor routine that they've nailed 50 times in practice, and like a classic, she didn't get up, and she got hurt, that's it. Day's done. Year's done. No nationals, no nothing.
Very good.
Is it worth the sacrifice? How far should kids, parents, and coaches go to pursue a dream?
Cover of Sports Illustrated. The new Mary Lou.
Christy Phillips went all the way. She started at age 4, moved away from home to train with a better coach at 8, and was crowned the next Mary Lou Retton at 14.
I enjoyed the attention, I enjoyed the popularity, but didn't quite realize what else came with it. You know, if I didn't perform, if I wasn't the best, knowing that if I didn't make this, those last 8 years of my life that I've lived away from home, that my brothers have eaten Roman noodles for weeks because they don't have money to go to the grocery store, I had all that on my shoulders. I knew that they were counting on me to fulfill a dream and hopefully be able to reimburse, you know, get something tangible out of it, and that didn't happen.
It didn't happen, she says, because puberty hit during an Olympic year.
I became held responsible for the way my body was changing. I can't stop nature, dudes.
Christy was named as a second alternate to the Olympic team in 1988, but she wasn't allowed to go.
You know, and that was like devastation. I didn't win the Olympics. That's what I was supposed to do. Since I didn't do it, I was a failure.
At 17, Christy left a note for her mom, saying she didn't want to live anymore. She says it was a cry for help.
I didn't know who I was. Gymnastics was my life. It was not a part of my life.
At 19, Kristen Maloney did make the Olympics. For her, the sacrifices were worth it.
It's kind of like a dream come true to make the Olympics. It was a hard but good journey that I went through.
Will she try again in 2004?
I don't think so. Because it's a lot of hard work, and to be honest, I don't think my body could take it anymore. I just want to finish out college and figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
What's the most important thing about today's competition? Having fun. You go, girl.
After years of struggling,
Oh, come on.
Christy Phillips has finally figured out what she wants to do with her life.
Better.
She recently opened a gym in North Carolina, where she's more interested in raising self-esteem than in creating champions.
Oh, they're like glass that if you break them too many times, they're not going to be able to put themselves back together. If you stay like this, they're not going to be able to come to you when they're feeling bad. That was an awesome handstand, you silly goose. And Sooner or later, all those feelings being stuffed down are going to explode just like a volcano.
Go, come on!
6 months after 7-year-old Ashley Berry competed on a broken ankle.
Just don't make it too tight, Bruce.
She broke her other ankle while training for a meet.
Very good, Ash. It's been a hard year.
Oh, try that again.
You know, 2 breaks and 3 months of restriction in training can put a crimp in your style.
Come on, baby, you gotta get 20, come on.
For Ashley's parents, the line between doing harm and nurturing a champion is getting harder to find.
Her poor ankle.
For every 1,000 girls who try to be a champion, maybe 1 or 1/10 of one make it.
Sharp. Nicole, your hips are back. I love the innocence of childhood when they just know that they're going to go to the Olympics and that's their dream.
There are a lot of gyms, some of which teach gymnastics as a pleasurable sport, some of which aim for the sky. And if you're aiming for the sky, I think you're likely to crash.
It's over.